Um, we are doing our write-ins today. Zandy is with us. Hi, Zandy.
How's it going?
It's good. Let us know what all you are working on in the comments. Our write-ins usually go where we do a 15-minute, a 25-minute, another 15-minute, where sometimes we have a writing prompt. Today I did not prepare any, so we probably won't have any. And then a final 25 minutes. Um, so yeah, um, normally I'll pick I'll have ask people to pick a plant, but today I figured I would just stick with my new pumpkin, which looks rather nice. And let me get that so that it's on the screen. All right. So Zandy, what are you working on today?
I'm going to edit some of the scenes in my book after looking at them, taking some stuff out, moving it around,
Awesome.
redoing it for better flow.
Ah, cool. Ty's over here, and Corvid is somewhere. Uh, yeah, I heard a Bach. So I don't know if you guys caught that. Ty, are you working on anything today?
Not writing wise, no.
All right. What about you, Corvid? You working on anything today? And there was some desperate wailing, so I guess no. Or whatever it is they're working on, it is invoking desperate wailing. I will be working on my nano project, and actually, no. Right now, I'm working on a book planner, but then I will be working on my nano project. So nice, right? Um, we can go ahead and start if you're ready, Zandy.
Let's go.
Awesome. Happy writing. Well, there is our first sprint, and I didn't even put the we were sprinting thing. Let me turn off the music there. Wow, I got pretty absorbed. Come on, I clicked to start the captions. I got pretty absorbed into my work there, and just I was talking with Zandikar about Incarnate. I love Incarnate. It's really cool. Yeah, I see that. Anyway, how is everybody's writing? What are you all working on today? I do think how's your writing going, Zandy?
Slow. I was trying to starting to edit, but I was trying to write some like a synopsis real fast before I start fleshing it out a little bit.
Yeah. So, me find the eat, drink, stretch. Self care is best care. I'm having a banana and drinking. Probably not the best in regards to hydration, but I'm having one of those Mountain Dew Voodoo mystery flavor. Banana though is good for you. It's got that potassium. Yes, yes. Let us know what people are working on in the comments. So yeah, the children have disappeared, so they are no longer with us. I mean, they are still in this world. I feel the need to clarify things. LOL. They're just doing other stuff, probably playing with slime. I can hear one giggling. Yeah, so I've got like 129 pages currently in my planner that I'm creating that I'm going to be publishing on Amazon on the, I guess, it's Kindle Direct, right? As a KDP now. It used to be Create Space, but it's not that anymore. I like went on there and I was like, dang, I really haven't been on here in that long, have I? It's like, wow. So when you get done with your book, Zandy, are you gonna like try to find a publisher? Or are you gonna self-publish?
It's going to take a while. I mean, this is going to be a long series, and the thing is, a lot of times I start writing and then just hit writing blocks because I do a couple of chapters and it's just like, okay, does this make sense? Start like, okay, is this what the character's going to do? Does it going to flow? And
yeah.
I'll write like a chapter, then I'll go back and like check my edits, make sure there's nothing crazy, and then it's like, okay, does this make sense?
Right.
So
I mean, yeah, I know about like all that. Like,
yeah.
That's not what I wanted. I did not want to change the font color. I wanted to change this color, the background color of my page. Oh no, undo. Wow. I mean, huh? So yeah, I get that. Like, because remember when I first started writing my novel series, you remember how long ago that was?
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, it's taken me a long time because it's like, what? How old is Jason? 16 almost.
Yeah. couple, about
And
a
I started writing it before he was. I was working on that before I met you, technically, because I was working on the novel when I was 18 and in the facility. And then I scrapped my original idea. Like, not my characters per se, but just the original title and the original premise, because I felt like something was off.
Yeah.
And redid it all. It's like bye to that entire thing. I'm kind of glad I did, because like the original like idea I had was kind of it was really cliche. It was bad. It was like it involved Merlin and the Bermuda Triangle. It was terrible. I was glad I scrapped that. It doesn't sound great, does it?
I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, so.
Yeah, I mean, I was also like 18 when I started writing that, and so like, yeah. Oh wow! So I do think I have got my thing all set up. All I need to do is do the art for this book, for this planner. It is got, gosh, it's beautiful. It's got 130 pages.
I mean, you should show the people.
I might when I do my game and write tonight, because that's when I show my screen. You've not watched one of my game and writes, have you?
I have, but
you've not commented or said anything. You've not told me. Jeez. So like during my game and writes, if y'all are on here around 7 o'clock, that's when I start my game and write. I work on my screen, and you actually get to see my screen as I'm writing. And so I will be playing, I usually play my Spotify playlist, and I share in the chat the link to the playlist so you can listen to it along with me, by the way. And I can show my planner tonight for that, like what it looks like. So that sounds like a good idea. It is really nice. It's got lavender, like lavender. The cover is got like flowers, and it says "Read a little, live a fairy tale" is the cover, and then it's going to have one of the characters from my novel series, Anika Sorasuki, reading a book on the cover of it. So that's going to look cool. I was going to put an insert page at the beginning. I do not have that, so it may just be a copy of what the cover is, and then, you know, but yeah, who knows? It's good. I think it looks nice. I am going to put it on Amazon for sale, but I made it for my kids because I'm bribing them to read. All right, let's go ahead and get into our next 25. That was a really long break where I just sat there talking. And as entertaining as I am, we're here to work, right? All right, we're going to do, yet again, my lovely scarecrow for November. Sound good?
Yep.
Happy writing. There we go. That was our 25. Let's mute that music and take a look at our lovely scarecrow. What a good scarecrow it is. How did your progress go, Zandy?
Just it's working. It's a slow work in progress, but it's getting there. I had to. I think actually thinking about this, it's going to make more sense, and it's going to flow a lot better. Actually,
That's good. I'm adding quotes from my various works in progress to the bottoms of the pages in the planner. So, preferably quotes that are positive and not dark and spooky and depressing. Because we both know that my novels have a heavy hand of trauma in them. So I'm trying to keep all the more lighter quotes being what I actually put in there.
So I had originally started writing like a introduction chapter.
Prologue?
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna move it, redo it, but I'm gonna do it for the prologue chapter into the second chapter where I think it's gonna make more sense because it's gonna be because the dragon's basically like a librarian. I think it's gonna make more sense if after what happens, she wakes up and tells the main character all this. It's gonna make more sense.
Librarian dragons. Those are the best kind.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna change a little bit, but I think it's gonna make more sense.
The book hoarding dragons.
Yeah, I think it's gonna make a little bit more sense, and it's a good way to tie it in with the look. I'm gonna change how I describe the figure a little bit, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little more friendlier, I guess you could say. Well, let me see. I'm gonna think. I'm kind of gonna change it a little bit, but it's gonna make more sense because I was doing it one way, but I think it's gonna make a little bit more sense to make it more of a friend and a little bit more, so to say. Still important, but the way I was going with it's a little more, make it a little more PG rated, I guess you could say.
I mean, you gotta be careful, like writing relationships in novels, especially. You got to think about your audience. Are you going for a young adult? Are you going for like, are you looking for young? Are you doing
more of a P? I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. Like, I know, like, I know people will be like, well, young adult means like adult, but I've seen like most people who read young adult are teens. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's be honest. So you gotta like, are you going towards like an older audience, like adult? Are you going towards teens? Are you going towards kids? That's the kind of thing. I initially started out, my initial writing was going to be like teens. And then I realized I just cannot write. Like, I'm not writing an adult book. Like, I'm not writing like, there's no like explicit, like, it's not rated X type deal. But the amount of, well, I mean, we know like the topic is in all my novels is focused around war, trauma, PTSD. And genocide. So basically, But as well as like things that other things that get mentioned are like environmentalism, like so like there's a lot of heavy topics, and obviously a lot of stuff sourced kind of from my own life and experiences, and we both know my life has been
Yeah.
interesting to say the least.
Well,
And so like you got to think about that.
yeah, I know. I'm not trying. It's just it just didn't make any sense. I was trying, and
Right.
it's just like, yeah, that's not.
But also for you to try to write a lesbian relationship
Well, it wasn't that exactly.
into your novel, and
Yeah.
you having zero experience with being a lesbian
Well,
is probably going to be difficult.
yeah. Well, it wasn't.
And it's safe to say on my stream. It's safe to talk about that stuff on my stream, just so you know.
Well, it
This
wasn't
stream
that.
is
Just,
LGBT safe, and we can talk about that here.
yeah, I'm not
But
disagreeing exactly, but it just didn't make any sense.
right, so like
It just
you,
yeah.
one of the things people say is writers write about what they know. And if you are writing a lesbian scene or a lesbian relationship,
No.
well, I know.
Yeah.
I know it's not like explicit scene, but like a romance building, a lesbian romance.
Yeah.
And you are not a lesbian, it might be a little bit difficult for you. And that's not to say that people can't do it, because like one of my favorite writers that whose streams I visit, but I think it's Chloe Balkan. That she, if I'm not mistaken, she is a lesbian, and all of her writings, which she writes, I don't know if it's more explicit or not, but she writes like shifter like romances and stuff, and alien and demon romances, but they're all heterosexual.
Yeah.
Well, and so like you can do it even if you don't actually experience it, but you have to know how to do it, and you have to you just have to have
not
practice.
So much that. It's just I think the dynamic actually just wouldn't work.
I mean, there is that too. Like that's another thing like people have to consider when you're building a relationship. Like the relationship in the first novel I was working on, it's just like now that I'm older, I'm like, it's really sus, but there's not much I can do with it to change it, because the power dynamic is so off, like, and the age difference is so off.
Yeah, that's kind of, well, yes, but no. And
power dynamic being like,
it's not so much an age, it's just more of a, I think there's going to be it's there, but I think it's maybe rewrite it a little bit.
Yeah.
Where it's not as obvious, but yet they don't want to admit it, kind of a thing. That's the easiest way to do it. Instead of making it straight out, just make it.
Oh yeah, like that's the other thing. Like, you have to build a relationship. Like when I first wrote my novel, it was kind of very rushed, and I knew I had to rewrite, and it takes several rewrites before you make sure that your text actually feels.
But and it just seemed like it was a little too obvious, a little too rushed. So I'm having to slow it down a little bit. But I wanted to change it because, like I said, it's kind of more of a kind of splotchy, I guess you could say. But
yeah, I mean, what is this, like your first serious fiction, right?
No.
What have you, like, writing wise?
Oh no, this is definitely not the first.
So what's your first writing project? Because I haven't seen.
God, that was back years ago.
I mean, outside of school.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a few years back, but it just either way, it's because like I try to write it, but then I go back and. Because this is also rewritten from the first other one that I was doing, but this one makes more sense.
Yeah, I know, I know. You were writing. This is all from this project you started
Yeah.
a
Because after
while
I
ago.
rewrote it, like I've even thought about not making the main character a male or a female, rather make, but it just even that didn't make any sense because I don't know.
Well, and yeah, see, like that's another like it's easier to write from like perspective that you know from, but also what I said earlier about challenging yourself in writing too, though.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
even if you're writing under like you're writing a female main, you know that can challenge your perspective writing from that perspective.
Yeah, because what I was trying to get away from was like making it obvious, like, here's brother taking care of the older sister kind of thing. That just didn't make any sense. That's
Yeah,
too cliche, and I didn't want that. So,
yeah,
but it's kind of sort of the same thing, but kind of not, I guess you could say.
yeah.
And this
Well,
makes a lot more sense, but it's not, I guess.
speaking of, again, I forgot to switch the caption here, but like the eat, drink, stretch, self care is best care. I also posted a pinned thing with the hashtag FreeDevin and the AuthorTube spreadsheet, which has all of the AuthorTube channel links. This is for those who are on YouTube right now. At the end of the stream, I can also post that into Twitch as well. Just in case you want to go to YouTube and watch some sprints. I don't know who's streaming on Twitch currently or who will be when our stream is done. But yeah, so the AuthorTube spreadsheet has links to all of the AuthorTube channels and links to people who are streaming today, like their videos. On two different spreadsheets, and the tabs are on the very bottom that you can click. You'll click the tab that just shows the channel links, and then you can click the tab that has today's date, and that shows all of the streams for today. And then there's dates for tomorrow and the next day, and for yesterday. Kate, Kate, Leo, and Devin put that together. So much thanks to them. Yeah. Again, stretch, stand if you've been sitting for a long period of time. I know I actually have, so I probably should stand because I'm feeling that cramp in my leg. LOL, right? Uh,
Yeah.
that's going to be like, oh no, we lost Andy.
No.
He has been eaten. Nom, nom, nom.
Yes, I've been edited.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and
something.
yeah. You ready to go ahead and start our little 15-minute?
Yeah, I kind of jumped ahead. Sorry.
Nah, that's fine. Let's get going. Happy writing. All right. So that was our 15-minute sprint. Let me get Zandy back with us. Hey,
How's it going?
it's going. Um, there is our little look at that. Oh, it's so cute. Can't get enough of my lovely little scarecrow. I can word. Words are things. Things are words. I can word. Yes. How you feel like you're doing?
Well, I changed it and some of it, and it actually I think is going to make a little more sense.
That's good. That's good. Mm.
And I'm going to add the prequel stuff in right after the little scene, and I think it's going to make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's progress.
Yeah.
I have been.
Fixing the stuff out, and I'm going to fix that, and then it's going to make hopefully a little bit more sense. And then I'm adding in some stuff, and it's, yeah, I'm liking it.
Well,
Takes time.
meow. Oh, I don't know what I just thought. I got lost looking at my thing.
Hmm.
And Fire. What is that for? Chapter 26. Oh, this is oh, that is a title, though, right?
Sure.
So, I'm sure you're familiar with dragon clocks.
Sure.
It's in your book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be, but it's gonna be a little bit different.
I don't know what you mean by a little bit different.
Instead of originally like making the dragon clock transfer from, say, the because that's honestly how I'm gonna get them out of the cave and into Wong's shop is through the dragon clock. I'm thinking. So instead of being seen in Wong's shop in the front, I'm thinking about moving it. I've been thinking about moving it to the back, and that's how they're going to get out of the cave. However, that's not set in stone right now, but it is a way I have thought about transitioning. And it would make more. It'll make more or less sense instead of doing it from the shop to doing it that way. A little more odd, but it's a thought. But I haven't, like I said, it's only a one way of doing it. Because the other way was just making them like go through and just appearing at the bottom of the cave. But I haven't really decided on how to do it exactly yet.
Yeah. This chapter. This chapter is one of the chapters in which Akron features. That's why.
Yeah.
Dragon Clocks and Fire. Because it's where Akron comes in contact with the dragon clock.
Yay.
Yay! I love that scene. Yeah. But I'm stealing like quotes. So like, how's you feel? You see, like I posted in there. Don't know if the sound of the music messed up on y'all's end, but apparently Google is having a fit on my end. Google is being a right wampus, and just like every time I'm in Canva working on the book, that the planner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally it decides it wants to freeze and stop responding, and then while we were doing our stuff, it oh god, it like made this like squishy sound through the music, and I was like, what the heck. So
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else experienced that, but I apologize. Chrome just eats RAM and makes my computer act like a piece of crap, despite the fact it's supposed to be low-end gaming computer. But no, it wants to be. I need to put more RAM in this thing, I guess. Because Chrome is like, ha ha ha, yum 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 RAM.
Yeah, well, Chrome is good at, and Firefox will download stuff so that it can read JavaScript a little easier.
It's just, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But we should be getting on to our last sprint, and then, like I said, looking for the. I don't know. I had to go back to YouTube real fast. The revised writer is currently streaming, so they'll be in that. They'll be in that playlist too. So Probably. Wait, that's not what I was trying to click the nice. I was trying to copy the tiny URL so it's not like that big long link to Google Docs, or Google spreadsheets. I mean, so for those on Twitch, I'm just going to go ahead and post that there. That is the AuthorTube link. And it is also for those on YouTube in the description underneath the hashtag #FreeDevin. So, and apparently Devin was cited for changing his YouTube too many times, which you have to create the playlist. And I do not understand how people could not be just banned in general for creating playlists, because I create playlists and I create playlists of content that aren't my own, and I do it pretty frequently. But I have not been banned for being misleading. A lot of people create playlists of just favorite videos. In fact, it is a feature on YouTube to do that. So I do not understand. It seems like bullcrap on their part. And then, of course, Devin also, after waiting the 14-day period to appealed, and then was told that, from what I had heard, that was told that it was too soon to appeal, and that he needed to wait another 14 days. So, yeah, thanks, YouTube. Anyway, with all that said, I'm sure we are eager to get some more writing done and get our nano projects finished. Are you doing nano, Zandy?
No, I'm just writing.
You don't want to give it a try? 50,000
I mean, I can
words a
give it a try, but I mean, it's no benefit to me doing that, because sometimes I don't.
You work and you're busy, but
I can't always do it every day, and
yeah,
sometimes I just get writer's block, and it's just,
here's the real thing. Is like there are people who do like Millwordy, where they do like 1 million words in like a year, is it? I don't know how long it is, and I'm just like, how do you do it?
I mean, there's friends that I know that have published books, and they do it like in a year time. So
I wish. My ADHD is like, no. Anyway, one last scarecrow for now. It may be 7:30, but yeah, let's get some writing. Happy writing. Pop. Well, that's been. I feel like I've gotten quite a bit of progress. There is our timer for our last sprint. Um, how'd you do, Andy? Let me turn off
Um,
that music.
Not bad. Unfortunately, I'm changing the beginning again, but however, it's more in depth.
I mean,
Um,
that can't hurt.
yeah, it's still the same, but just it makes it a little. I was reading it, and like I said, I'm doing edits, and it makes it a little more less confusing. I thought it was confusing reading it when I was reading it out to myself, picturing in my head it was confusing. So I'm fixing it, and it makes it interesting.
So, as I said, I've been going through my writings and finding the quotes at the beginning of the chapters to put some of those quotes into uh, the document uh, for the, oh God, my brain work, the reading log journal that I'm making.
Yeah.
And I went to look at the project I worked on the very first year of Nano, which I never actually went back and edited or did anything or even like really finished. Or I've done more writing on Endura and Hope for an Era and even the Winding Key than my very first Nano project, which was called Golden as a working title, which is not the actual title, but it's working title. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, so many details are just like so much errors. It's terrible. So I guess at some point when I get the other ones finished, I will have to finish Golden because it's a good story. It is about the last gold dragon. You know.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I was just going through quotes from the different documents and putting them into my quotes document because also that helps me when I'm looking for quotes for Endura currently. So, because I have a habit of occasionally reusing quotes.
Yeah.
Like this one, our greatest hope is in our youth. Ah, and look at that, you are our youth. I use that in Endura and I've used that in Golden. In fact, I think it was initially used in Golden because Golden takes place at the Academy des Dracons, which becomes the Draconian Academia. So later, but like this was the initial founding of that school, and then but yeah, so it's like Shadow of Hope, all the quotes from there, quotes in Golden, so that's 1, 2. Quotes in the Winding Key, that's 3. Quotes in Aldra, that's 4. Quotes in Endura, that is 5 different novels I have started. It's like, dear Lord, that is too many books to be trying to write at one time. And then that doesn't even count the Lysandra's journals,
Yeah.
which is a collection of loose memos and journals that is written as like back lore to the series.
Yeah.
I think I have and not. I'm trying to think if there's any other author like this. Well, I guess the original OG of fantasy. Oh my god, why can't J.R. Tolkien? Yeah, Tolkien. Like all of the in-depth work that Tolkien did, and then of course the name that came to my mind before I was like, well, yeah, the OG of fantasy, but like was the turf whom shall not be mentioned. LMAO and like all of their, but But yeah. Okay. And I forget, like, I changed the working title because it was, I've changed the working title from the Bard, the Key, and the Mirror to the Winding Key because the Winding Key was shorter,
Yeah.
obviously. Um, yeah, so you feel like yours is looks better now then.
Yeah. Let me, yeah.
That's good. Nice, nice. See, I've never even described the light of the suns. Like I mentioned that there's two of them, and I never describe it because they are and it's actually really common. Like there's a reason I even mention like that they're twin suns and that there's at least four moons, and I don't mention that there might be more, but I mentioned that there's at least four really large moons that are seen. And the reason that that like this is like even important details is because Earth is actually an outlier in our galaxy alone, but just in the universe, period, as a
Yeah.
planet for having A, one moon, and being in a single sun system.
Yeah.
Dual suns and multiple moons is actually really common for solar systems.
Yeah.
Really common. And also super Earths are a really common thing. The reason our Earth is as small as it is because of Jupiter.
Hmm.
You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of solar systems that have super Earths don't have Jupiters, quote unquote, like big gas planets in their
Yeah.
solar system. And those that have hot Jupiters don't have Earth like planets, like super Earths, because a hot Jupiter forms at the edge of the solar system and then it moves forward. And as our Jupiter moved forward, it tore apart other planets.
Yeah.
But because of our rocky Earth like planets and because of our asteroid belt, which is it's our Jupiter is why there's that asteroid belt. Like it was tearing apart the planets.
Yeah.
Because of that, it could not become a hot Jupiter.
Yeah.
Just like all of the stuff that makes our solar system is just very unique to this solar system. And that's pretty cool. Right?
Yeah.
I by the way, I'm a geologist, but not a cosmologist or I was going to say astrologist, but that's not the right term. I'm also not an astrologist, though. Don't ask me to tell you your star signs. Astronomist. But I guess you could see cosmology and astronomy as sort of like space geology when you talk about like how rocky bodies in space are formed.
Yeah.
And so that does interest me. Like, how is our moon formed? What is it made of? What is it consisted of? And of course, we know that our moon was probably formed when a protoplanet named Theia crashed into the protoplanet that eventually became Earth, you know,
Yeah.
and that an offshoot of what is Earth, an offshoot or chunk of Earth and Theia like just like a huge melted chunk formed into a planetary body that became Luna, our moon.
Yeah.
So like, but like that stuff's important to me. So like when you read my novels, you'll see that even though it's a fantasy world, there is discussion of like science concepts in there. Like I was actually shocked because I don't mention being a dissociative identity very much on my streams, but Erewhon's doing most of the writing for Endura, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, that is better. Your piece, it is beautifully described too. I like it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm talking about it. Like he wrote this beautiful piece of describing how the suns light up the sky.
Well, I mean, that's the new first paragraph of the book.
Right. So like scattered hues of red and orange light fill the clouds. And I'm just like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know? So
Well, I'm trying to get, like I said, I'm gonna change it because it just seemed kind of boring. I like the scene, but I'm gonna force it down past this new first paragraph a little bit. But I think this more sets the tone. Description. I mean, it's not. It's one way of doing it.
Yeah. So what I was saying is about about Endura is like there's a point in Endura where Dana says to the character, the main character, how come he can't create a storm? He created lightning during the first time he summoned the rain to the village. And he corrects her and says that lightning requires heat and he does not have fire magic. He does not have heat. For you have to create fronts in the air to create lightning. So you have to have heat, a cold front and a hot front to create a storm. And he explains that. And he said that's why he can't create a storm by himself. He only has wind magic.
Yeah.
So all he's doing is directing those temperatures. He's not actually creating them. Endura, who has both fire and water magic, is the one who is creating those temperatures in the air for him to direct.
Yeah.
And that's what he tells her. And I'm like, and so like even in my fantasy novels, like, yes, there's magic, but like there is science explained in it. And I'm just like, great. You know, and again, also I am not a meteorologist either, but I was a geology major, and we did take some climate courses, and we took oceanography, so we had to learn about stuff over the ocean. I had to learn about hydrology and how hurricanes are created. So yeah, it's surprising the stuff you learn taking a degree in geology. Right?
Yeah.
Surprising how much of that shows up in my novels. So like, because we also like the novel I'm currently working on, I describe why Sukadesh is a desert, and it's because it is in the rain shadow of the mountain range. So you know, and I mentioned that to you. But yeah, so like details are important in writing.
Yeah, it's one way. It's just sometimes they're described differently than how I write.
Yeah.
I think because you can do it different ways. It's just how I go about it. So
Yeah, I mean, like I just said, that paragraph that I just read was beautifully described, and I loved it.
yeah.
I'm always very detailed in a more like, I don't know how to say, but I wish I had considered like the different hues of the suns, because like you mentioned that That one is
Yeah.
small and blue hinged, like a bit smaller. And I hadn't even, like, one is larger and one is smaller. And that's something that's kind of something I should mention at some point in mine.
Yeah, well,
Because
I added you saying that, and I fixed it just now a little bit.
how so?
I just there. I mean, you have to. I just sent it.
Yeah, see, and yeah, but like the same, like it's still the
Yeah.
same. It's just a little better worded. But scattered has an R in it, but other than that, and I'm not trying to
Yeah,
correct your
it's
spelling
fine.
because of it's
Well,
just a
no,
thought
thank
you might.
you. That's obvious. Yeah.
I know, like I type fast, and during Nano, I don't even correct spelling. I'll just type, and then I'll go back and correct spelling later, like in December or January. January when it's like, because most people take a break after Nano, and then in December it's like finish the novel month. Even though it's not an official Nano month, a lot of people will just get working finishing the novel they worked on in Nano. I don't know if they're going to make it an official Nano month, but like I know you've complained that it feels like Nano is every month. It is not.
Yeah. Well,
There's only 3 months. National National Novel Writer Month is November, and then you've got April, which is Camp Nano for April, and I believe July is Camp Nano for the summer. So you got the spring one and the summer camp. And those are the 3 official ones.
yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to add the January finish novel month as an official one. And I don't know if I'd participate just because usually I'm burnt out after November. Because 50,000 words is hard. But yeah, that is our stream, and we have gone well over 2 hours. And
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone who has joined us. Do hit up that link for the AuthorTube, #FreeDevin. We'll see you all next Saturday. And for those on Twitch who are, I should be streaming a game and right around 7:30. Yeah, that sounds about good, right? Right, Sandy? You got anything to say?
No, I'm good.
All right. See you all next time. Happy gaming, happy writing, happy Nano.